It's Monday. What's going on, people? We're back. And it is Mindset Monday. We are back. We got rid of the cold. We got rid of the lurg. We're not ill anymore, which is great. So we're back. We're back. So I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone had a good weekend. As always, Mindset Mondays. We know what the price action's like on a Monday. Doesn't mean there's no setups. It just means it's generally a little bit quieter, right? So, how is everyone? Is everyone well? I hope you are. I took a long earlier here on GJ, which had just got taken out of a break even, which is a shame. What's going on, Alex? Hope you're good, brother. And I was looking at the long from here. Let me show you. Wait for this to load. Awesome. There we go. All right. The long from here. Now, we are bearish, and I have obviously covered this. We are bearish. But like I stated in the markup that we gave earlier today, I discuss the way that we are overall bearish, but we're looking at these points to take us long, right? We're looking for these points to give us that momentum to the upside as, yes, we're bearish, but we know that we want to reach these higher points, which are right out of the way in terms of where price sits currently. So we go back to the price chart, and you will see we actually came down, and we took out one of those lows. See, we took out one of those lows, yeah? So we've taken out the low, and now we're looking for it to go high. So it's actually running perfectly in line with what I explained in the Sunday markup, which we gave out probably, what I think it was this morning, about 3-4 hours ago. 3 hours ago, there you go. Now, we were going to do it yesterday as we normally do, but it got a little bit late. We were quite busy, so didn't end up doing that. Now, what we're looking at for today is we're looking at pricing sort of realigning itself with the longer term possibilities for the week. So once we're off this live stream, we are going to go and update all of the pairs, update all of our VIP pairs and so on. And we do have a new filter that we're applying to the chart, which is helping a lot with filtering out valid areas, invalid areas, so on and so forth. Did everybody have a good live stream? Did everyone have a good live stream? Did everyone have a good weekend? I hope you did. But we're going to just run through the pairs and show you guys what we're looking at. So we are bullish on Euro, and we're expecting price action to go bullish again. As it stands, we are sitting in pretty much a monthly high. What's going on, Andre? Hope you're well. A monthly high. And we're still looking for price action to continue up. Now, just as we showed you on gold, we're looking for price to run down into these lows to follow that movement up, or progressive move down to then head up. But these are the two targets we have, so look for expansive moves through these points, right? So just because price is static at the moment, it doesn't mean that we just ignore it and, we, how do I say, rule it off, because it only takes one movement to come in to give us a movement to the area that we're willing to actually interact with it. And from that point, that's where we can begin to trade it through the areas that we're targeting. Rather than having the points we want to trade from as focus points, so we have to get down to here, we have to get down to here. We just focus on price hitting the highs, and we don't take the move to the highs unless it hits the lower areas that we want to trade from. Okay, so always focus at your targets, focus on your targets, but then always look to trade to those targets from the areas that you have marked against what the current price action is telling you. So again, from here we're looking for bullishness. We've got alerts set on that, so we'll know what happens. GU, we're looking for bullishness as well. Now, I believe there was an Orion entry that didn't tag in this morning, which is a shame. There was also a bullish entry on Euro, which tagged in and then decided to consolidate and sort of play around a little bit after that. I believe, now I need to pull it up and find out, but I believe there was an announcement that caused this big spike down. So here, see 11 a.m. So 11 a.m. At 11:04, we have a red folder and news saying Germany's Green Party won't support draft debt package in Parliament, which caused that big push to the downside because obviously Germany is part of Europe, obviously. Let me show you this here. That's it right there. They won't support draft debt package in Parliament. Apart from that, you've had no other red folder news or no other, how would I say, reactive, headlines that have come up. So keep in mind that last thing that we just saw at the top there. The current index is extreme fear. In times of extreme fear, that is the best time to buy for a lot of assets, depending on what the pricing of those assets are. Obviously, we'll go down and have a look at Bitcoin at the moment, see what that's doing. Yes, so we're looking at 79k, which is actually perfect. And we're also looking at XRP. Let's see, XRP on the British pound. XRP to 1.6. Now, I previously called a previous buying opportunity from anywhere between 1.6 to 1.4. So this sort of region we're in at the moment, again, not financial advice, any area between sort of here, that's a good kind of area to accumulate some more XRP if you're looking to. Okay, now notice, why is this? Well, if you look at the last major area that we bought in, that is your sort of relative area. So the big guys generally will reaccumulate at those areas. Now, as I said, this is not financial advice, but I did call it a little while back when it was up in the twos. Even my barber was asking me about XRP, and I said to him the same thing: 1.6 to 1.4. If you can get in around those areas, great. But look, at the end of the day, if it continues to travel down, it continues to travel down. We're looking for longer term moves, not short term moves. I've noticed that there is a beautiful sell side Orion entry there, though. If you are using Orion on XRP, you would have had a beautiful sell opportunity there, down to your low. It's actually really nice. What is that, like 1 point, it's a 2 point, yeah, 1 to 2.5, which that's pretty decent. Take a little dig on that. So let's go over to oil here. Let's take a look at what oil's doing. So remember, we've been calling bearish on this for a little while now. Still looking for price to come down into the lows. Now, this is something that can happen. Now, you could see we were calling for sells from here and from the area above. Both of those points didn't get interacted with and price continued down. That's what you should expect. That's what I'm saying when you have a target, don't focus on your entry point. Yes, focus on your entry point because that's where you want to enter, but focus on your target because that is the most probable area price is going to travel from. Not from, sorry, where price is going to travel to. Let's go to AU. Take a look at this. So AU, we are bullish on this now. So we can tee up our entry here. Now we already have our target in place. Potential entry point, potential entry point. Now we could of course highlight every single lower point for a potential entry to the upside. But as I said before, focus on price getting to here rather than getting down into here, because if it gets down into these lows, your bias is technically incorrect for what you have it for in terms of like your mid to short term. You go on the 15-minute. So we have our high volume candle tool currently on, and these are the areas you can see price delivering those darker candles, those darker shaded areas. That's delivering you with the most the most probable areas for movement. It's going to be down to you to obviously align that with your narrative and with your direction. So classic Monday morning, not a huge amount going on. Gold has ran really nicely for or from the area that we were talking about earlier, which is this money in that occurred after a sweep of this, and then we saw some volume coming in the form of this candle. But until we have a tap into these highs, it only holds relevance for us because we're looking for price to sell down as our bias is bearish. So as I said to you guys earlier, price right now is pretty quiet. We haven't got a huge amount going on. I've said this before, right? The second I start streaming, I start yawning, my eyes start feeling heavy. I haven't even got any lights on. I don't know why it is. The second I start streaming, I'm like, my body's like, yep, cool, bedtime. Literally. And I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. What's happening, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just trying to find a little bit of music to stick on in the background for you guys. Let's find something. Ugh, don't want that. Okay, this sounds cool. We can rock with this. There we go. A little bit of background beatage. Let me just double check on my end that it doesn't sound like complete arse. Okay, so that sounds alright. Sounds alright. Remember, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button. I appreciate it. So, again, the story is pretty plain, pretty simple. It's honestly not that interesting of a Monday trading session, as we'd expect. Volumes are still relatively low. The only points I've really been interested in trading from have been this entry point here on gold, which I never took. We are bullish, so that will be counter. As 100, we had nothing. U-Chef, we have currently nothing as well. I believe this is bearish. Yep. So we're looking for highs to be ran. UJ, same thing on this. We're looking for more highs to be ran. We've had nothing at the moment. GJ, we've gone BE on that. And Aussie USD, same thing. We're looking for price to sell off into the lows so we can trade it up into the highs. Now we have taken out the first couple of lows in that simplified Wyckoff, but we do have a higher time frame version of that, which has happened right there. And again, you can look at that and call it a trend line break, whatever you want. Just using a subjective view to look at the same price action. For me, unless we come and take down the low, I'm not too bothered about what it does at the moment. So remember, if you want to go and check out our weekly markups, you can check those out on our trading view. And we explain exactly what we're looking for and exactly what we want to see from price before price is starting to move. It gives you a nice sort of breakdown of what we're looking at for the first sort of session or so of the week. And another thing, one of the things that I think TradingView need to update is the idea that if you give a bias on TradingView, so let's go back to the profile here. So I don't give a bias that often. So you see here how like my bias is long, right? And again here it's long. That's awesome, my bias is long. But what you will see, right, is you could have price travel like this. So your bias is correct, and that's as far as our analysis works to. And then it sells down, right? But then this technically will be wrong. Your bias here will become wrong. I think that needs to be adjusted, TradingView, to be honest. I don't care if I'm wrong or right. I just think if you predict a move, you can't then count the idea as wrong if a week later it ends up coming below the point the idea was posted. So pretty much any price action that happens below this point, a long bias would be classed as wrong. So if we go bullish here, see how that was correct? Awesome. Why is it permanently holding that down? fuck is going on with this? Okay, well, I'll stop trying to look at my own trade idea. But I reckon you should be able to give, like, you should be able to put on the chart, I think, long from here until here. And then if price goes, bonk, then your bias is correct, and that's as far as the analysis goes. Because overall, you can have an idea, something work, and then it comes up as not working in terms of the idea. It's very small, something that really isn't that important. It's just more of a personal thing that I saw it and was like, that would be cool if you could actually make it represent what you're seeing. So right here, the setup that I was looking at was the long move from this point. Oh, let's trade it into this, or this. But we're bearish on this pair, so we're holding out for that bearish move. But I was interested to see what happened from this point, and it actually tagged in and ran really nice. Until we have a higher point met, I think we're just going to wait for this to do its thing. It could come down, tag into some lower area here, but we're not really too interested on it at the moment. So slow this morning, right? So slow. I say this morning, it's actually like mid-afternoon now. Why did MetaTrader just boot up? I don't even use MetaTrader. No, you wasn't, Alex. Don't lie. No, you wasn't. We all know that's fibs. We all know that's fibs. That's fibs, mate. I feel like Dr. Disrespect and MetaTrader decides to boot up. Launching Battlegrounds. Okay, so nice big extension down. It's time to wake up. Dude, I've been awake. You need to wake up, my friend. It's not Sunday anymore. The time is now. So it is Mindset Mondays. And today, I'm going to be talking about a little bit of not necessarily your mindset when it comes to the chart, but your mindset when it comes to your analysis, if you were. So when it comes to your analysis, you don't always have to have an outcome that is favorable. Now, I always recommend this, and I've said it to, many of my students before. The best thing and the only thing that you should be doing is collecting data and being proficient at analyzing what the market is showing you. Now, I believe a lot of people take the analysis side of trading and they really push it so hard to the point where they are constantly striving for perfection. Now, it's fine to strive for perfection and it's fine to have, tight tolerances with your analysis, but you also have to have the understanding and acceptance that most of the time, I would say 60% of the time, your analysis could be wrong. But just because your analysis is wrong, it doesn't mean that it's going to lead you into an incorrect trade. Now, when you see false analysis, if you were, you automatically start to think that you're doing something wrong and that you should change, adjust, tweak, elements of whatever it is you were doing beforehand, when really that's not the case. The case is understanding your analysis leads you to points in the market that could give a potential thing. And sometimes you're lucky enough that your analysis will be correct, that it will lead you to a more refined area within the market, which ultimately gives you an entry. And then that entry can lead you into another part of the market, which can potentially give you that little section of price that you were looking to trade. So there's a lot of elements that have to interlock together for you to be able to consistently be in the right area at the right time. It's not always going to be as simple as click your fingers, do a markup, and there you go. Not every piece of analysis and every markup you do is going to be useful to you. But it is going to be, it's going to be useful to you for two reasons. You're going to be practicing the overall analysis of being in the market, and then you're also going to be consistently applying your rule set to get a result, for example, the analysis. But it's not always going to be necessarily useful to you in the aspect of it might not be usable for a setup within, let's say, the immediate vicinity, like depending on what time frame you're looking at. But having it there and having it add to your context of what's happening is the main thing. You need to make sure that your analysis represents the consistency that you're looking to follow. So if one day you're marking up one thing, one day you're marking up the next, you're chopping and changing between your markups, meaning yes, you may see a consistent patch on one, you may see a consistent patch on another, but we need to see consistency across a long period of time. And that is just in an analysis nature, not even in an executing off of said analysis. This is why sometimes indicators can be super valuable, because they do not miss if they're created the right way. Why am I on the 1 minute? I shouldn't have been on the 1 minute. Looking for the 15. So a good example is gold. We come to it with the mindset that we want to reach these points here for potential sell-off moves. We know just because our daily bias and our trading bias is down, that there is just as much probability for gold to push up higher and continue into its overall dominant direction, which is up. The reason for that is because we understand that gold is fundamentally driven, right? You should also keep an open mind when it comes to any pair that you're trading, for example. You should always keep your mind open to the possibility of counter your bias. Just because your bias is one direction, it doesn't mean that you should discredit or discount price going in the opposite direction. So, for example, if you ask me, what way do you think gold's going? I would say I think it's coming down to these target lows. But that doesn't mean that it won't take liquid off of this low like it has, create a high volume area, and then play bullish into these highs, and then maybe give one move down and then go higher. Doesn't mean that at all. But what it does mean is we are more biased towards price traveling lower than we are price traveling higher. Doesn't mean that you won't use elements to take your understanding that both sides of the market are equally as valid. So regardless of what your trading system is, you should always keep in mind the market is a two-way street and price can decide to go in whatever direction it chooses. Quite often it will choose both. It's so dull right now. So we've got some beats in the background. It's Monday. Everything's moving at a nice slow pace. We're in the New York session. Nothing crazy's happening. So very, very mellow right now. Mellow markets. Mellow market Mondays. So we actually had an absolutely beautiful weekend. The weekend was insanely good. There was literally no cloud in the sky for 2 days solid. It's almost unseen or unheard of in the UK. So I took that opportunity to take my son to the park. Also had a beautiful steak on Friday. Beautiful steak. I keep cooking my steaks a little bit more towards like the rare side. Well, I say rare. We're getting more towards, well, the upper end of rare, so definitely not blue. I cook my steaks for about 2.5 minutes aside. So some people would say that's not enough. Some people would say that's more than enough. So we're bearish on oil, I believe. Can't remember if we are or not. Yep. Orion's still in a little bit of a state at the minute. We need to get it finalized, get it fixed. Honestly, kind of annoying. We've had lots of technical issues on the indicator side as well as the website side, which is really slowing things down a lot, which is really annoying, to be honest. But we're hoping soon enough that everything should be, running in the right direction and getting done and wrapped up. So is anyone looking at any setups right now? Apart from this gold setup here and the BE setup we took on GJ, there's nothing that I've seen, really. Not that I'm that excited about. Obviously Euro and GU, which happened earlier. I might go grab a coffee and then get back with you guys. Any questions that you have, stick them in the chat. I'll go grab a coffee. I'll be right back. Oi, oi, Savaloy. What's good? So you guys may be able to see that I actually have I've changed what my chart looks like, and the only candles you're seeing are high order flow dependent candles, which is an indicator that we're currently working on. You can see it right here, and we will be releasing that to the Discord members soon. But we're still working out a couple of bugs on it at the moment. Remember, the EA is still coming. It is still coming. So if you want to be on the shortlist, just join the shortlist with the link that is in the description. Is it in the description? I think it's in the description, and it's in the chat. So you can see it on the left-hand side of the screen, way over that way. You can see the link in the chat. Join the EA shortlist if that's something you'd be interested in. Of course, if it's not, then don't. Simple as that. So right now on gold, we're just looking for it to unload a little bit of this pressure up to the upside. Actually tweak this slightly. Minimum transparency to put this to 84, 80. There you go, you can see it a bit clearer now. Just going to give you a good gauge of when orders are coming into the market and when they're not. Yeah, so pre-establishing where orders are being unloaded from, where they're previously sitting, and then ultimately you capture the movement that comes from that rather than trying to capture the movement that is already coming from something. Very, very slow right now. Let's go and take a look at some different pairs. Let's just go like GA. Just purely randomize the pairs a little bit here. So daily, definitely bullish still. Actually delivering really nicely. See from here as well. Why has MetaTrader opened again? Guys, bear in mind my account doesn't even run through MetaTrader, it runs through CTrader. I don't really know what purpose this has as opening up right now. I don't know. Close that down. It's weird. It's really weird. Is it like a hotkey I've got bind it? I've not been hitting anything for a hotkey to bind in. It's not pinned to my taskbar. Don't really know why it's launching. You guys can hear it, right? Making it stupid Windows XP noises. Actually, I hope that's not too loud. I hope it wasn't like incredibly loud. Need to reply to my partner quickly. So bullish, looking for the lows to be round. Let's see what we had here when it actually came down and ran that low that was created. I'm always interested to see. So we had a low printed, right? Let's go down to the 15. Did we run that low? It's Asia low as well. With a high volume, we did. So we're running it with high volume, right? And there's your entry point. So let's see if that actually, well, triggers in. Yeah, maybe it triggers in depending on what your spread is. But let's see what that would have been for you. back to the 4-hour time frame, only would have been trading it up to this point, which is kind of small and insignificant. Only to there, so it's only 3.7, nothing crazy. Does it run? Yes, it does. You'd be break even now. And UTP2. That's beautiful. That's actually beautiful. If it had triggered you in, obviously. Got to be realistic. Can you go Sainsbury's? Yes, I can go Sainsbury's. So, looking for the same kind of price delivery on Euro would be awesome. Let's see if we can get the four-hour chart back up here. Always easier than trying to do multi-time frame. There's that entry you can see. So this doesn't actually have the low marked. I don't know why. That's the low mark there, and then you've got your secondary point there. Doesn't really give us much. Still looking for that high to be ran. So yeah, pretty simple, pretty uniform. Cool, money out detected on UJ. Let's go over to that. I'm not sure why we have a money out alert on UJ. As in, why is that even alert? Why is that alert even on there? Not sure why. Oh, these expired? Yeah, I'm gonna restart these. For sure. These alerts I'm restarting are the daily bias alerts on all of our major pairs. Not sure why that's. So I'm looking for UJ now. Money out UJ. There it is. Delete. Yes, we don't need that. I don't know why that's in there. It's also not a correct alert because there's no money out here. U-Chef crossing line. We get rid of that. GCAD crossing line. Get rid of that as well. Awesome, there we go. That's great. Oh, that was a supreme entry. That entry was absolutely supreme. Look at that. Holy. Now, yes, you could have ran it all the way to here. You could have ran it to there, but the entry would have taken you to there, which is just a 3R, perfect 3R. The beautiful tap and a beautiful run. Let's go back over to GN. Not back over, sorry, but to GN. A nice run of the low here. Or two lows actually. Let's have a look on the 15-minute. I believe that we should have been bullish when price was moving down here. I might be wrong. Doesn't seem as if Orion wants to work. Oh, it did work. There we go. Get another really nice tag in there. You'd be looking to run that down to the low though, and that actually, whether that would have tagged in or not, is a different story. So some really nice performance from some of the British pound pairs. Now we do have the Orion report to write up this afternoon. Gold really pushing up now. That's beautiful. That's 100, just chogging its way down. U-Chef pushing to the upside. We are bearish on this. We're looking for price to go bearish. Honestly, super slow. Super slow. It's a very good example of, on Mindset Mondays, why you need to keep your head completely level. Stay in the game with the rule set that you use. Not get twisted into changing your system, adjusting things, and so on. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna jump over to Discord for 35 minutes or so. Jump in the public floor. If you want to join us there, then you can. There's not a huge amount going on, so I think our time today is going to be best spent conversing with members that want to actually ask questions and so on. So I appreciate everyone for joining me on this Monday stream. And yes, join us over in the Discord if you would like to. I'll see you all very soon, guys. See you in tomorrow's live stream. We're going to be live on TikTok tomorrow as well. So, yes. Peace and love. And until the next one, ciao, ciao.